Hello, and welcome to Inkwell Society on Maze Arcana, where me and my friends get together and play a little D&D in the noir. We are playing 5th edition, we are playing in Eberron, and they are specifically stuck in the very, well, not the very bottom. So there is still farther for you to fall, should you choose. But you guys are pretty low on the totem pole as far as Sharn goes. But they're you know, it could always be worse.
We're only in the gutter, not the sewer.
Not the cogs, for certain. So, as we kind of like get ready to get started here, a couple of announcements real fast, and then we will start rolling on where we picked up last week. And it should be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Announcements.
Sirens of the Realms, an all-girl bard band on tour through Faerun, DM'd by our very favorite elf, Satine Phoenix. Airs Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/DND, followed by Dungeon Queens. Ooh. Oh, come on, I thought you were going to be there with me for that.
You missed it. I dropped the ball. No take back seats.
For further announcements, because we have a season finale coming up sometime in the near future.
I feel like the important part, like, we're missing half the pitch on that, is that they're drag queens.
That they're drag queens, yes.
We buried the lead.
Because we have the queen on this show, so like we kind of need to differentiate a little bit, I think.
They're actual queens.
Yep.
They're actual.
Yeah, there's like a full like hood on one of them, right? Does she wear a full hood?
And they're sassy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're
sassy.
They're hilarious.
Not for the young,
Yeah,
No.
that's
but
true.
for the young at heart.
Yes.
Late night Dungeons and Dragons.
After dark.
Let's see. Maze Plays is on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/MazeArcana. And Maze Magic News is on Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/MazeArcana as well.
Which is about Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
Not other forms of magic. Yet. Not yet.
Not yet. There's still time to grab a D&D Rainbow Ampersand tee to support Lambert House, a community center for LGBTQ youth in the greater Seattle, Washington area. They're available for one more week. So grab yours or donate by going to custominc.com/fundraising/Lambert House. What else we got here? Oh, #NoStoneUnturned. If you're not already doing it, go check that out. What's this?
Dude, you got
What's
yours
that
ready?
key?
What is this mysterious stuff I'm talking about?
It's like a USB key.
A USB key?
Why don't you go check out that hashtag to see what I'm talking about and go through that rabbit hole?
Oh, that's really cool.
That is really cool.
It's
I made the tie knot for that.
Yeah.
It's the tiniest tome. The tiniest, the smallest tome of all
It's
tomes.
like 0.05 print type size. It's tiny.
It's like 88 kilobytes.
All right, and oh yeah,
It's a lot of
catch up on anything you've missed for Inkwell by following us on iTunes.
For the No Stones Unturned thing,
Oh,
I have something special here.
Oh, what?
What?
Something
That-
you're supposed to reveal?
Perhaps a thing to reveal, perhaps in a little bit.
What?
Perhaps. If you guys are good, no infighting, strong community, good stuff.
Yeah, so are we going to post it on #NoStoneUnturned?
Well, I posted some stuff already on it.
So did I. There's some symbols that you guys might need for the ERG.
And
And
the
I-
Twitter is Fortress? Like, I'm missing something. Something in the number 4.
Immortal Fortress.
Immortal
Yeah.
Yes.
Fortress. Yes.
But I believe that we will, the Inkwell Society Twitter will have this symbol or update,
The libraries.
if you will, so that you guys can go there to grab it if you miss it on the stream.
Yeah, so go to the Twitter and let people know to tune in to get this symbol first.
You'll have a little bit of a head start on figuring out the next step. And if you check out my tweet, there was quite a bit of, and that's at Rudy Woot. If you check out my tweet, I gave a lot of little wink winks, nod nods in there.
Did you go down this conspiracy hole on that one?
Because what do?
You should see the wiki.
We do inspire.
The followers have made the most incredible wiki. Maybe I'll share it.
Oh yeah, we'll put that. We'll go ahead and put the wiki in the link when we post the next thing.
Yeah.
What we do here in Noir World is play with conspiracies and conspiracy theories, and we have an entire Minotaur dedicated to that, which we now have rules for. So
We had them before, but we got better
we
ones.
did,
True.
yeah,
Upgrade complete.
upgrade. So that'll be where we go next. Any more announcements?
Still say it's a charm.
Just to make sure to subscribe to Inkwell Society on iTunes so that you could always have our voices in your head. That's not creepy at
You
all.
don't want that.
Well, it is like you can still hear me without Laucian with the eyes. It is like an optimal experience.
Yes.
Nobody can stop hearing you. You echo in their
All the
head.
time.
Yes,
It's
but now
quite
it can be
true.
echoing on the outside as well as on the inside. It is great.
What?
I believe you did have some announcements and shout-outs for us.
I do. Big week for me. Last night we did our Ask Your Black Geek Friends special with our women in entertainment and sports and media episode. It's on twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry. It was fantastic. I had UFC fighters, voice actors from Overwatch, journalists, cosplayers. A Siren, yes. It was really great, so check that out. And then We're Live Frontier. Yes, finally made my debut today, and we have next week is the finale, and it's insane, so watch it and binge it. That's on Join Team Alpha.
Are you still alive?
For now.
Oh.
Friday, WhedonCon, 5 p.m., The Power of Inclusion. I will be there again with another one of my Siren sisters, Christina Ariel is going to be there. And I just want to say thank you to Dogs Might Games for this super cool stuff they sent us for We're Alive. They sent us dice. They sent us these super sweet boxes. Thank you. Thank you to the Rook and the Raven.
This one's mine.
This is. We have matching adventures guides. Yes, I'm going to stab myself in an elf ear to like lean in carefully. These are really cool adventures guides, and you can have multiple character sheets. You can have an ongoing record of all the stuff that has happened to you over the years in an ongoing campaign. Super cool. They just finished a Kickstarter, I think.
And there might be some for the Inkwell folks as well.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I know I'm going to be like 10 minutes from now, I'm going to be like, I forgot to say, you know.
Well, speaking of dice, while I was gone, I have a job now.
Why were you gone last
Why were you gone last week?
You
Where
want
were
to
you?
train me with
Tell us.
strange men.
You guys were here last week. I was hanging out with you in the chat room because I was at Chris Lindsay's house watching you guys because that was fun.
Because that was fun.
Yeah. So, I'm the new community manager of Dungeons and Dragons.
What does
It
that
feels
mean?
weird saying it. That means that I am on the socials. I am on all the socials. Yeah, so I will be interacting with the community, and if you have any questions, if it's a technical issue, I think there's something like @wizardshelp_help. It's actually kind of cool.
Nice.
So do that, or you can just say, "Hey, need information," and then I will be directing. Amongst other things. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
There's something else going on.
There is something else. It's called #SomeD&D, and it's this 3-day event in June here in Los Angeles. The first day is full of interviews, and it's Anna Prosser and Nathan Stewart, and they're doing interviews of the people who make Dungeons and Dragons, and they'll be talking about the new storyline and the new stuff coming out. Mordenkainen's comes out the
Friday.
limited edition, which is. I think it's on
We got one
the
floating
bed.
around here
It's
somewhere.
right here. We had a spill and it got moved away.
Protected.
No,
This
it was protected.
This is the brand new Mordenkainen.
Dun, dun, dun.
I have stickers for you guys. Here are the new stickers.
There's cool things in that book.
Oh my god, this one's really good. So they're going to be talking about story design and mechanics and all that in the interviews on Friday, June 1st. June 2nd is, oh man, it's just a lot. There's a lot of gaming happening, and there's a lot of secret things that they're not going to tell you about right now, but they will.
She won't tell us either. We keep asking.
One
Yeah,
of
but
the secret things is a spacefaring hippo guy.
That's not a thing. But Sirens of the Realms will be opening the event at 10 a.m. on June 2nd. And then, let's see, other people that will be performing that day are Dark and Dicey. They're brand new. There's Rivals of Waterdeep. They're brand new. And Girl Scouts Glory will be back. They haven't been around this season, but they will be there in full force.
That's
I'm
exciting.
pretty sure the entire group, so that'll be really cool. And then on Sunday, June 3rd, oh my goodness. So the first 2 days, it's like, okay, you can watch us on Twitch. That's really fun. You can hang out in the chat room, and it's really fun. But more fun-er, you can come to LA and you can actually sit in the audience. Very limited seats, so get your tickets now.
Yes.
The first at 10 a.m. is Mark Holmes. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
He is coming here from England, and he'll be running a game with Taliesin and Sam Riegel, Ashley Johnson, and Matthew Lillard. So that'll be really cool. You can buy tickets at a link, which I haven't memorized.
It's dnd.wizards.com/sum for info and tickets.
It's a very well-read link. Then it's Dice Camera Action. I wrote it down. I should have memorized this. Dice Camera Action is next, and you can get tickets to them live. And then Deborah Ann Wall is running her first live stream game. You may know her from Daredevil.
And True Blood.
And True Blood. So go see her, sign up for her. She'll have Matt Mercer, Marisha Ray, Tommy Walker, and Julia Dennis. So that'll be really fun. I've dungeon mastered her, but I've never played at her table, so that'll be really cool.
I hear she's really good.
Yeah, and she's like really shy. She's like, oh, I'm okay, but like blows everyone's
She's
mind.
nice. She's good.
Yeah, and then if you want, you can go sign up for the Jocks Machina game, and that's run by Mike Merles, and it's Travis Willingham, Joe Manganello, his trainer. I believe his name is Ron Matthews. I posted a link to it online today, and the Big Show.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's the thing. So go to that link and go get your tickets. It'll get you into the event. It'll get you some like, I just know so much now. Like, oh my God, it's crazy. The swag or the bounty bag or whatever you want to call it.
Loot.
The loot is amazing. But then there's this other thing that I can't share with you yet. It's killing me. But I think I'm going to announce it next week.
You know, it's surprisingly painful because I do this, and I don't mean to tease people, but when you're like, oh my God, I wish I could tell you about this crazy thing.
They have no idea. It's just like really intense.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Sorry, I will stop now.
No,
But,
I don't feel so bad about not being on the Jocks Machina table because
Dude,
These guys are huge.
they would sit on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I would literally be the smallest person at that table, which is rare.
There's not a lot of guys bigger than me, but a dude who's like 7'3", 500 pounds definitely counts.
Now, what I want to see is one of them. I want to see Arcana reanimate Andre the Giant to
Right.
have him play.
There it is. That's
That'd
true.
be good.
Yeah. Maybe.
So that is fun. If you get tickets, you can dress up in your character, your D&D character's costume, and come for surprises that I will hopefully be able to tell you next week. 'Cause I really feel like you should know because this is so cool and crazy.
But I do have one question that I'm asking you in your official capacity as community manager. Are these things going to be revealed leading up to it, or are there some things that you won't know till the day of and it just hits you in the face? Like, will all be revealed, or will some be revealed?
So I just got photos of the building of the sets that I will be revealing. Well, I'll probably do it after this, so it'll probably be revealed tomorrow. Yeah. So check in on the internet. The last thing, I'm sorry, there's so many. I just kind of went on with that. It's all I've been doing today.
It's a big day. It's a big week.
The other thing is, I got back from this journey to Dungeons and Dragons, and there were dice waiting for me. So Devnal went and. Devnal, you're the sweetest. I
Yay.
finally gave the Ericas their presents.
Devnal dice are confirmed to roll better.
Oh.
Yes.
According to
So
that table
these
over
are
there.
pretty cool.
They roll with love.
People were like, oh, they look like the Kraken dice. Not actually. They're different sizes. They have different colors. It's different. But Kraken, I got these cool Kraken dice. These are the Trial by Fires. There's these other ones. The original blue, or I can't remember the name of them.
You know, I feel like these might be magic items that have, like, you have to give the password to activate it. I feel like you need to say, let's get Kraken, and then roll it and see what happens.
Yeah! And then this one
Crack-a-lackin'.
is that you can't get these anymore. Thank you, Kraken. These are the cotton candy dice, and they roll well. I know. I wish they smelled like cotton candy, but then
We can fix
I would
that.
probably eat
It's
it.
true.
I can fix that.
It makes, yeah.
And
You know what?
that's the end of my announcements.
That's the end. Now
Thank
we've
you,
got
Rudy.
to.
I have one announcement.
Yes.
Deadpool 2 comes out this weekend. go see Deadpool 2. It's amazing. Support my friends. They're some guys making the movie. You'll love it.
And then one more thing. We have started to put everything together for Gen Con. And I would like to announce today that on our... I have joining me on the mechanics and gaming, basically like how to mitigate table balance and all that stuff, like in the middle of your campaign when somebody wants something fun, which Mercer and I talked about for a bit last night. The incredibly talented Queen of Puzzles, the puzzle mistress, Elisa Teague.
Nah.
And also... and that panel's sold out, so I don't know what's going to happen. If anybody wants to get in there, I don't know how that's going to work, but...
Most of our panels are sold out.
Most. There is one where you can still grab tickets for, and that is our inclusivity in gaming, which we have a couple of slots left for, and that is going to be, I believe I'll be moderating that. And then Satine Phoenix will be on the panel, and Adam Coble, and Big Dave Walters.
Nice.
And we're going to be talking about how important inclusivity is in the grand scheme of things, but also how important it is to differentiate like what that means compared to terms that could conceivably be exclusive, even in the sense of like diversity versus inclusivity and those kind of things. If you notice, like he was talking about his show the other last night, and it was inclusivity. It's about making sure nobody feels like they're not allowed to play anymore.
No gaming.
Like, right.
Yeah.
No, we're basically break the gate.
Yep.
Break the gate.
Storm the gates.
And we'll be releasing more names of people on the different streams as we get people who confirm.
It's true.
Yeah.
Streams or
It's all definite
panels?
Panels.
Panels.
Yeah. We have a couple other panels on there. If you go
Panels.
to the Gen Con website, you can search for Maze Arcana in the event section, and it'll pop up all of them. Now, we will likely have some live game stuff too, and those just haven't been put up yet. You want me to tell them?
Can we? Oh, I don't know. We'll wait. Next week. Okay. The end.
So look forward to that announcement likely next week, because we're figuring out exactly who's going to be everywhere.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going
There's a
on.
lot
Is that
going on.
before or after the trip to Europe?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, after.
After.
Okay, without further ado, let's roll that beautiful intro and beat the snot out of me. And we're back. So, let me get some appropriate music for diving into the darkness.
You know, I'm rolling at disadvantage because Morton Kanan's Tomb of Foes is like distracting me now.
Time to put it away.
And I can't. It's so interesting.
As we descend back into the setting of Eberron, where conspiracy and pulp noir permeate even the very mucky rain that drizzles down and commingles with bathwater and whatever else the nobles well above our zeros. We do a quick refresher of where we last saw them. For our Warforged, Xalen, and our Shifter, Grizz, you two had apprehended a duo of urchins after knocking one of them out by snatching him up and flinging him at the other two. You now stand with their feet dangling off the ground, and they have relented, breaking their little glass shanks, but you have yet to question their motives. Where were you last night? Kind of thing. For Laucian, our elf mortician, Corner, and our charming former member of House Decaneth, you two are in the process of leaving the forge and heading towards the bank, the Kundarak Bank, to present a key with the symbol of the House Kundarak. What?
Key?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
This has nothing to do with No Stone Unturned.
Yes. The key that has a manticore on it, which is the symbol of House Kundarak. And this is after Laucian spent a good probably like 5-10 minutes watching Felix stare into a vat of molten metal after having a conversation with his former mentor from while he was in House Cannith before becoming Exorian. And what Felix recalls is a much different situation where he spent a little bit of time inside, we'll just call it another dimension, that appeared to be a harem, a Casbah, and striking a deal with an entity by freeing that entity of the chains keeping them within said Casbah. And then you joined Laucian, who was, oddly enough, not even sweating from being inside that forge. Our esteemed fixer, Harmatio, had spent his day waiting for the results of a near-fatal accident in which he and Xalen had previously retrieved a bleeding priest from the streets of Sharn and made another dubious deal in order to have the priest taken care of. The priest does not know about this deal, but Harmatio knew a little bit about the priest and identified the robes and read a pamphlet on the religion, which was the essentially all the religions, almost, as in the sovereign host, and has escorted Ciro, the priest, back to the temple, which was up one level from where you all are. Finally, our prodigal female elf, female singer, what'd you say?
Felf.
Felf. Our lounge singing Felf returns after disappearing for a bit to enjoy the lyrical... No? Oh. Enjoy the lyrical blessings of Dante Tippler.
Dante Tippler.
And she had a job to do that he assigned to her.
Yes.
And
haiku.
so, what?
A haiku.
A haiku. And so we'll see what she came up with and if it will be good enough for Dante and his very snotty, snooty definition of what art is or should be. So, with that, I'm actually going to throw it to you guys. Who wants to begin?
I have a haiku I've been working on.
And
you're going last.
You're sure it's ready?
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
She got no time last week, so we'll start with her.
So,
Give it to Dante.
when we last left you guys, what time of day was it? It was like midday, yeah?
Because I thought she was still at City Hall. Like, that was my expectation.
Right. Okay, so. Oh, it was like 1, 2 o'clock because we did the noon thing and then you guys went off. We'll say okay. As the sun starts to tip below the largest of the towers in Sharn, signaling early to mid-afternoon and the beginning of evening, you all can, from your various places except for the two of you who are inside a food court, the sun starts to come down through the park, moving its way towards the horizon, casting long shadows from different trees and other large structures and towers around you. You've spent a decent amount of time contemplating Dante's request and comparing your process to his results, hoping to impress him. As you collect your pages and your thoughts, you move across the park in one of your nicest dresses. You can see the dark-haired, dark-skinned elf laying across a bench as though it were his own personal chaise lounge, staring directly up into into the foliage above, leaves wishing back and forth in the subtle breeze. You stride closer, take a moment, collect yourself, and enter the proximity of his awareness, where he waits.
Psst, Dante. Dante, it's Rose.
Where?
I'm right here.
Oh, Rose. I was elsewhere.
I could tell. I did what you asked.
You prepared a haiku for me.
I did, and I think you'll like it. It's very raw, it's very honest.
Oh, Rose. I hope you're correct. But one thing you should remember. Our craft is not about thought.
Oh, there's
It's about feeling.
there's a lot of
And
feelings.
emotion.
Oh, there's a lot of emotions.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. I'd do anything if only you ask of me to leave this poo place. I thought about it a long time.
No,
I really
no, no,
feel
no,
like
no.
it comes from my
no,
heart.
No, 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 no. Oh, please, Rose, do not misunderstand. Please, again.
Okay.
Slower this time.
Okay. I'd do anything if only you ask of me
See, that's a very good start.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
to leave this poo place.
Okay. What does it mean to you?
That means I hate this place. I just want to get out of here.
Rose, embrace the suck.
But I don't want to.
I know. It is clearly evident. But Rose, you must learn that art comes from pain.
I'm in so much pain.
And yet, poo place is the best analogy that you bring to the table.
I didn't want to use a bad word like a screed.
Well, I will say that you may be able to double as a stand-up comedian at certain
That's
points
not
as
funny
well.
though. This is a serious thing. I gotta get out of here. So because I cannot get out of here. I do the best I can and I deal with it by putting my emotions into words or song.
Rose,
Yes, Dante.
do you want to hear something?
Yes. Yes.
It's the first time we've lost the eye makeup. This is week 10.
Rose, calm your hilarity or hysteria or whatever it is so that I can draw the words out of the sky themselves. Let me feel the emotion around me.
I thought you were sleeping. I saw it.
Patience, Rose. Genius does not come overnight. Oh, as you wander into that great unknown, be it the horizon or peaks of stone,
Oh.
sometimes spires man-made cry, and sometimes man doth cry by spire.
Oh, that's very good.
And sometimes a rose wilts before its time,
What?
should it rush to the finish line. Embrace the suck, Rose. Find your craft within, and maybe not on the surface. Distill what you mean, instead of just telling me.
But it's only like 5 and 7 and 5 syllables. I don't understand how to go deeper. But maybe this is why I need your help. Maybe you'll teach me.
Yes. Yes, perhaps that is the case. I think that perhaps you should take a day or two. And maybe we won't put you in the box of a haiku. Rather, a poem or even music with a poem in it.
Oh, that'd be nice. It's very hard to say eloquently, very important, deep feelings.
Yes, Poo Poo Place is not the most eloquent thing I've heard, but...
It was just one poo.
But there was so much in that.
At least you could feel it a little bit, yeah?
Oh, I heard it. I didn't have to feel it. And that's maybe, Rose, maybe that's the issue. Make me feel that it's a poo-poo place.
Okay, I'm gonna rewrite this. You were so generous for giving me your time. I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me your feedback.
A bloom in you, Rose. I want to see all of the petals.
Oh. Okay. Maybe next time.
I hope so. And then you see him roll off of the bench, but instead of rolling gracefully to his feet, he almost purposely drops down onto his elbows and knees, his face inches from the ground. You see him take a deep, deep breath, lowering his face into the dirt as he does. And then with a huff, all of the dirt and dust just... And as he slowly rises to his feet, he dusts his knees. And then you see him reach to his elbows to grab the gravel and dirt from the park and just rake it across his forearms. I'm inspired. And then he just turns and walks towards the setting sun and disappears into an alleyway, leaving you in the park to contemplate whether the pain will truly be worth the art. Speaking of pain, Harmatio stands dumbfounded inside one of the side rooms of a massive temple dedicated to the sovereign host. From the beds lining each side of the walls, stretching down along what looks to be maybe the entire length of the temple. White linen sheets and beds, some with sick or dying in them, and a handful of men and women treating them, moving from one to the other. Directly before you, you see one such person kneeled praying over one of the beds. As he does, these wounds, circular, with seemingly no pattern, but a unity to them, a pox, if you will. The festering around them had created red and purple contusions, but your eyes, having never seen magic work in this sense, blink over and over as the wounds seem to fade, as the words of the prayer roll over this man laying in the bed, shivering and sweating at the same time. The pustules almost seem to reverse, as if time was running backwards on them, leaving only slight welts over the skin, perhaps in the form of scars that may or may not heal, but whatever affliction was over him at the time seems to have alleviated, along with his shaking and his sweats. Next to you, you've just sat down on the bed, and your eyes drift back to Ciro, who is waiting for one of the other priests to come attend to him, holding his side, where he seems to have torn the stitching that you have given an undisclosed favor to get.
By what power is this accomplished?
Ciro, holding on to his side, looks up at you. It's the power of prayer, my son. It's the way the sovereign host looks after those who believe in them without the need to see them.
This man requested the gods to heal this man, and the gods responded to him?
This man has put the gods before himself and others. He takes in a deep breath. You can see the grimace on his face as he leans back a little, pulling a pillow up behind him slightly and reclining, finishing his... He has put the gods before himself, and he has put others before himself. And that's why they come to him. If they are able.
And he will do this for you as well?
If it is the gods' will, they will reply. However, for us, it's slightly different. Sometimes we have to prove that we are willing to suffer at their behest.
Is he still praying, or is he?
He's still on a knee, praying. He'll likely stand and take stock of how much energy was drained as it coursed through him.
In this temple, this magnificent place, they use it as a place to heal the sick. Here?
From time to time, I think that I can't be of much more service to you at the moment. If you would like to wait for him, you're welcome to. Or I can try to get the attention of one of my other brothers. He leans back the rest of the way, and you can see his hand kind of move a little slack, and the blood starts to, like the flow of blood starts to increase as he is stopped holding pressure on it.
Do I see anyone other than the kneeling man?
About 30 to 60 feet down the way, within maybe shouting distance, but it doesn't seem that anybody else in this space is even raising their voice over a whisper.
I step forward and I put pressure on it, and I look at the kneeling man and I'm like, excuse me, my friend, he is bleeding to death.
You see a hand raise without looking at you. And and go back to the prayer. As you continue to hold the wound.
Is this guy still awake or is he passed out?
He seems to have passed out.
Look.
Give me a medicine check.
Ooh, hey.
You're rolling high.
New dice working out. 17.
So you're able to feel where the wound is kind of pulsing a little, throbbing with not only the blood flow, but also with the pain. It seems to be the body itself is like contracting, spasming in just this very small, singular place. And as you hold your hand over it and wait, and wait, and wait. A pair of feet, actually 2 pair of feet, dangle inches off the ground as each of you hold a urchin in the blossoming years of their teenage youth. At your feet, little green shards of glass are splayed out across the floor. They grip onto your hands and wrists as they wait for whatever it is that you are gonna question them on. I'll save that for later.
Okay. So I'm still holding one, right?
You guys are both still holding them. Last time we left you, for mechanic's sake, you had thrown the boy across the room. He skid into into some of the wood pilings and whatnot that's down there inside the food court that you have spent quite a bit of time at in recent days, and seem to have been knocked out. You then both individually grabbed one of the other two, and Grizz was able to convince them that they should probably stop struggling and answer a couple of questions instead of trying to shank you both. So they dangle now from your hands.
So I look at the one I'm holding and I'm like,
Now, you don't know nothing about me, but I'll tell you the important parts, all right? I'm not exactly known for my affable nature. And I've already had to get handsy with some bum nuggets tonight, so I don't have much patience. And the way I see it, in your unfortunate situation, I'm the only ray of sunshine and happiness standing between you and death incarnate. So no funny business, eh? You know what collateral is? That's you in my hand right now.
That's a big word.
no, I'm going to point to the other one.
Now you, go check on your friend.
She's holding the other one.
Let him check on his friend.
How do I know he's not going to just run away?
Because I've got this one right here. Hence the collateral part.
What's collateral?
That's you in my hand.
Is that a bad word?
No, it just means you might get hurt. Or maybe not.
I'm going to make this easy for you. Do what we say, or you're going to get it.
What's a bum nugget?
That's a grown man's poop.
And they're similar to collaterals?
No. Go check on your friend.
And so I just throw the kid down back on the ground.
Okay, as you drop him, he flops down, legs splay out, and his butt hits the glass. He yelps a little. And at that, you see his friend shoot up with a natural 20 onto his feet. This is the smallest of the group. And you had picked him up before he was able to pull a shank. But now you see him draw 2. What are you doing with my friend?
Well, that depends on you. What are you doing right now?
I just woke up.
I would drop that if I were you.
Or listen to her.
How do I know you're not going to kill us?
Oh, I will kill you if you don't listen to me.
Yeah, that one will, for sure, kill you.
But then it doesn't really seem like I have much to gain here.
Well, I got your friend.
Drop what's in your hand, answer my questions, and then I won't kill you.
Can I answer your questions and keep the things in my hands? Because that's the only thing that... How are we supposed to defend ourselves?
I'm gonna like squeeze like the back of the neck of his friend a little bit, like see if I can get him to like squeak a little bit.
Give me a strength check.
Uh-oh.
A 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
That would be a 22.
You start to squeeze his throat, and he starts to choke as you start to collapse, your fingers reaching all the way around from the back of his neck and starting to clamp down.
Just enough to get him to squeak.
He squeaks,
Yeah.
and then it gets cut off because he runs out of air for it.
And I'll release a little bit.
You drop back a little bit on that. Okay, Now roll me intimidation at advantage.
16.
Okay, I'll make a deal with you. I'm gonna put these over here, okay? So that when you leave, we still have a way to defend ourselves from the homeless people and stuff.
All right.
All right.
And you're gonna put him down? Without dropping him on the glass so he hurts himself?
No, I'm gonna hold on to him
Yeah.
until we're done here. See,
Why don't
that's
you
the
put-
collateral part. You guys are learning. See, I know you might not go to school, but this is considered a school.
Wait, what's collateral?
Put those down, and then we'll drop your friend.
Okay. He kind of slowly puts them down next to one of the boxes.
I'll put the friend on the ground, but I'm still holding on to it.
Okay. And you see him just walk up to you with his hands, and he stops about 6 feet from you. You can see that on his hands, he's got these padded wraps that from a distance would just kind of look like he had kind of linen gloves that had been twisted around to keep his hands warm, but you can actually see now that that's how they were able to hold the glass without hurting their palms. Okay, what do you do you have to hold him by the throat?
I'll shift to the back. I have a hand on the back of
Yeah.
his neck, so he can't get away. Yeah. But I'm not squeezing him right now.
Okay, what do you guys want to know?
What do you know about Lady Hart?
Lady Hart, she goes to orphanages.
What orphan?
Why?
What orphanages?
Yeah.
The ones in Sharn?
What'll she do there?
She's she gives them money, I guess. She spends time with the kids.
She spends time with the kids and gives them money. Why?
There's a word for it, but I don't know it. It starts with a B. B. Well,
Have you ever met Lady Hart?
yeah, kind of. There's a lot of orphans at orphanages, and so she mainly just kind of she'll read to us and stuff.
Do you
She
know
did
what-
anyway before they kicked us out.
Kicked you out of the orphanage?
Yeah.
Do you know where we can find her?
She spends time at orphanages, and I think she lives somewhere, but it's not anywhere near here. It's up, and he just kind of looks towards the ceiling. I don't know where she lives.
Does she have you do things for her?
No, I think maybe she asked Taimo to get a book off a shelf once.
There's a girl. A little girl with strawberry blonde hair. Do you know anything about her?
A little girl with strawberry blonde hair? Do you know anything else about her?
Oh, I forget her name. Apologies. Do you remember?
That's just not a whole lot to go on.
That girl that you guys were trying to beat up on when we saw you that night.
Was it Tawny?
That girl. Yeah.
That's
right.
What about Tawny?
I think she was involved in something.
Yeah, where were you guys last night?
We were outside. We were here. We did a little bit of begging outside the library. Sometimes you get people feeling generous in there, and then sometimes that bird thing chases us away. But when he leaves, this is where we can go to be safe from other bad people.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
I don't know what that means.
Anything,
Not that I don't.
Anything doesn't seem right to you going on?
I live in Sharn.
All right, let's kill him.
That's not what our deal was.
Oh, really? There's nothing else you want to tell us?
What else would I tell you? I answered your questions.
I had a foreign lady heart would be pretty good.
I told you, go to the orphanages.
Which is all of them.
How am I supposed to know? What? Roll me an insight check, both of you.
– 11.
18.
There is no indication that either of you are picking up that would indicate that he has not been absolutely truthful with you.
Alright. Well, just so you little fellas know, we're trying, there's some bad people using kids to do things for them, and we're trying to fix that. So, if we run into each other again, or think it be in your best interest not to mess with us, because we're trying to help street urchins like you.
Who do you mean, the gangs? Do you think Lady Hart's doing something?
Possibly.
So what do you need to do for us to be fine? To leave you to not? How do you not kill us?
Well, you don't try to kill us.
We weren't gonna kill you.
I distinctly remember a glass shard on my kidney.
Did it go in your kidney?
No, it didn't. See, and let's keep it that way.
So why do you think it was actually going to go in your kidney?
In my experience, people don't put things on kidneys that they don't intend to stab.
Well, people don't choke people they don't intend to choke either.
Right, and now we're in here.
And you just choked my friend.
And now we're going to let you go.
So you just told me that people don't intend to do... See how I'm confused?
The world is confusing, my fine friend.
Okay.
You got any other questions?
No. Doesn't seem like you could answer anything useful. Unless you find out for us.
Well, how do you want me to do that? What do you want me to do?
You can find out what Lady Hart is.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, you're a kid. Go around to the orphanages. It'd be really weird if we went around looking for little kids.
I mean, kinda, but we got kicked out of the like 3 of them.
It's not my problem.
Well, how are we supposed to get back in? It's not a very good plan if we can't actually do it. The 2 of you stare at each other for a couple of moments, contemplating your next words, as Laucian leads a somewhat distracted Felix through the middle wards and duras towards the bank. Above, basically, the sun sets out a bit of the silhouette of the Kundaric Bank's almost standalone structure. There are a couple of sky bridges that have it sitting almost entirely by itself, away from any of the other towers in the area. You would both know that this specific reason is because a good majority of the tower, from top to bottom, is comprised of vaults, safety security box, and offices, as well as certain teleportation devices that allow some of these boxes to move from bank to bank without needing to leave the safety of Kundaric care. As you approach the large structure, you can see a lot of ornate and golden statue and filigree for the different entities that symbolize wealth, but also almost deify it in a way. Different ancestors of dwarves and the like. As you pass through the brilliant white marble arches and into the open center where a few lines stretch back towards teller windows and a roughly 20 by 20 office to the left just before the teller windows seems to signal the bank's branch manager.
This is all in the middle level of the central plateau.
Mm-hmm. This seems to be like where they actually conduct the majority of the business. So anything, if like, you can't get into this building from the lower levels unless you have, except for going through this middle area. It's super secured to take care of everybody's stuff.
Walking over the bridge, I take a look down.
As you look down, you see what is probably 1,000 or more feet below you. Little specks of ants moving back and forth, almost disappearing into the shadow, except for what would be a couple of lights here and there, and the slow move of the mage rites, lighting continual flame into the streetlights.
So, you know what you're gonna do?
Where we're standing, is there any groups of people that can easily overhear us?
No, you guys are basically at the door, just inside the archway. So probably about 40 feet before you even get to the lines, which stretch another 40 or so feet.
Okay. Try to remain kind of find somewhere that is not suspicious.
You slide over to the deposit, to the paperwork stand.
Great.
Where all of the deposits or withdrawal slips are situated.
Great. So we have this key.
Yeah.
I don't know the first process that we should go about trying to work out where it goes.
Is it a safety box key?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wouldn't we talk to somebody to let us go in safety boxes?
We could. I'm wondering if we should pretend to be someone else, or potentially have a cover story that we acquired this and it was bequeathed to us, or something like that. Or
Do they, like, see who people are before they can open it?
I don't know. That's kind of the point, though.
Yeah, I don't deal with banks too much.
Yeah.
Oh, you could say we were given it. I mean, no one told us we couldn't take it.
It's true. Do you think I should disguise myself ahead of before we get involved with this?
I think I might be a little bit late since we're standing in the hallway.
You'd be surprised. Is there a restroom or something around?
There is.
I can solve that real quick if needed.
Okay.
All right. Do I see any? I'm not really sure how artifacts or things like this might work, but would I know of any kind of since this house is well known for like traps and that
Security.
Would I know whether or not they would have wards to kind of dispel illusion spells and things like that?
You would know that the majority of what they focus on is based around alarms and breaking and entering sort of things.
All right.
Not necessarily like zone of truth, or they do innately have a way to dispel magic on a pretty regular basis, but that would also come at pretty great risk. Using dispel magic inside Sharn, which is a manifest zone, could have dire consequences if not done judiciously.
All right.
So they would likely apprehend you for some reason before they would bother to do something like that.
Fair enough. Do I have access to my Gen Vizier yet, or not?
Have you tried?
I can head off into the restrooms and see if that is possible.
Okay, so you walk into the restroom, single out one of the stalls, move in there, close, lock the door. You hear a cough or something from somebody, but you're able to situate yourself as far away from others as you can.
I'll try whispering my patron's name. Free. Fry. Oh, come on, I know you're here. Really?
I'm here.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm wondering if you can help me, perhaps with a spell.
Ooh. What do you need?
I would like to disguise myself. Is that within your power?
If it's what you wish, I can see. Is this something you would like to be able to do consistently, or am I fetching the knowledge temporarily?
Temporarily would be fine for now. Although that is a conversation that I'd like to have with you later when we have a little more time and a little more purpose.
And I with you.
Very well.
One moment. Roll me.
D12. So minimum of 1, which is 1.
Okay. So a couple of seconds later, you hear a Felix. How do you wish to be disguised?
Same height. I'll change my skin tone a little. My hair color will change. Larger nose. Maybe a few extra years.
So an older you with darker skin and a bulbous nose?
We should change my face a little bit more, but...
We should be more creative in general.
Oh?
For where we are, Perhaps. Do you trust me?
Go ahead.
You see him actually come out of... You're not even sure where. And he's tiny. Legs are crossed and he just seems to float in front of you. He enters a very serene pose for a second. Folds his hands together and look at you. And you see his eyes go from just black orbs. Then they burn. They start to catch fire and rays out from over his eyes, creating another pillar of flame that touches his hair and starts to all together. And you see the flame engulf him entirely and then zip out of existence. And as you do, you feel your fingers start to shorten and become nubby. You feel your face start to grow flatter and wider. And a gnarled, slightly painful expulsion of hair pushes out of your cheeks, chin, and nose. And then draws a little bit back up into your nose, settling as a nice mustache. You also notice that you are roughly 2 feet shorter, as evidence of the lock having moved up to down. Look down at your clothes, which also seem to have adjusted to disguise you. You open the door to the stall, walk out, and look across to see a dwarf you do not recognize.
Right. Right. All right. Wash my hands and head off and find Laucian.
Okay.
So while he's in there, I'm gonna walk over to someone who looks like they work there and go, who do I need to talk to? A friend of mine's got a key to a box. Do we have to do paperwork?
So what you see is a skinny looking, dressed, pretty nice, roughly like business attire, kind of standing there rocking back and forth, and every now and then somebody walks by and he's like, oh, ma'am, can I help you with this thing? Da-da-da-da. And like he kind of shepherds her somewhere and then comes back. And so you target that guy, and when you walk over there, you're like, he's like, oh, yes, you have a key?
I don't, but my friend does.
Oh, and he's not been here before?
I don't think so.
So are we going to need to order his lockbox? Or
Probably.
do you know where he is?
He's relieving himself at the moment, I believe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is there paperwork we have to do?
No, if depending on the key.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's more than one kind of key?
Yes.
Oh.
We have executive keys.
Oh.
We have VBD keys.
What does that mean?
Very important, dwarf.
Oh.
We have keys that are bestowed specifically by some of the family members of House Kundarik.
Mm-hmm.
And we have keys that are just, we can give them out of just about any branch.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one's got a little manicore on it.
Oh. Is it a gold key?
I don't think so.
Is it a silver key?
Some kind of model. I didn't look too close. It's not my key.
Oh. Well, I suppose we'll just wait?
Yeah, probably best.
Okay.
Unless you can get a box without a key. Can you
No.
do that? Okay, didn't think so.
He just stands there awkwardly next to you. A few minutes later, you see a dwarf with gnarled hair, seeming to be wearing the same thing that Felix was wearing, but it fits, so it's clearly not Felix's clothes. But he strolls up to where you are, ignoring the skinny man next to you, who's just standing there somewhat awkwardly.
I just kind of look over his head.
There you are. I was wondering where you went to.
Oh, hi.
So, who's your friend here?
I didn't ask his name, but he was nice enough to help. He said, if you have a key, we can get a box summoned and we can open it.
Oh, this is your friend?
Mm-hmm. Yes, him.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a dwarf.
Oh, what were you expecting?
I don't know. Usually they don't bring elves into their dealings. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a problem with elves?
Clearly not. I'm hiring one.
Your voice just changed.
Did it?
Huh. Sorry. He said that you had a key.
Absolutely.
The moment you pull it out, his eyes just go really wide. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, sir. Please come right this way.
And look, is it cold?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right this way. Please follow. And he just like struts back towards where the tellers, where the cage is, and he leads you off to the side. The manager's office is right there. The manager kind of like looks up from his desk to see him leading essentially just Laucian. And then the little man catches his eye, points at the door that's right there in the cage, and he goes, like makes some weird gesture, and the bank manager's eyes go really wide, and you see him like reach over and do something to his desk, and the door opens in front of you, and he leads you in, takes you down into a private room, the walls of which are just completely flat. Okay, there's a table right there in the center, and if you just press your key down onto the table, there's a little indentation. You can put your key right there, and it will bring your box in. And I just knock on the table when you're done. But you'll need to take your key out. Don't put your key in there until I'm out of the room, though, because otherwise I'll get stuck in here.
Oh.
That's fine.
Who wouldn't want that?
I don't know. Okay, so if there's any, do you need water or anything?
Water would be good.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Bye.
I'm gonna get you water. I'll be right back. Don't.
Okay.
If you put the key in the thing, you've done it. You know. Okay. I'll be right back. And he kind of fusses out real fast, and then he comes back in, or he doesn't come back in, but you just see a tray float in with 2 large glasses, cylinders of water. Slides down, rests on the table, and then the glasses move onto the table, and then the tray up and moves back out of the room.
That's pretty neat.
Wait a few moments more, and then pull out the key.
Well, shall we?
Do as instructed with the key.
And you put the key on the table into the little indentation. The door that he was in starts to close. The 2 lines where marking the door's threshold fuzz until they become flat. Laucian can run his hand over it and see that there's literally no difference now between one side of the door and the other. And as he returns back to the table, out of where the key, like out of the space right below the key, raises a box. And then click, it pops open just so slightly for you to see the darkness inside it.
I'm gonna say you got a lot better with those makeups things because you look really short.
You'd be surprised what you can achieve with a little makeup.
What's in the
And
box?
Harmatio. A few moments later, the gentleman next to you touches the man in front of him. The pox seem to have even gone so far as to disappear, leaving no trace of scarring. He stands up wary, blinks a little bit, and then turns to look at you. I'm sorry, you were saying? And he looks down to see Ciro and your hands there. He goes, oh my, hold on, okay, I'll be right back. You keep your hands there, keep the pressure. And he runs off to the side a couple seconds later, coming back with a kit. And he opens it up and he says, okay, I'm going to need you to pull his robe up, and then I'm going to assess the wound. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay. You let go of the wound, pulling his robe up as gently as you can.
Yeah.
And blood just starts to ooze out of the wound. And he goes, oh my. Okay,
I do not mean to tell you how to do your job as a holy man, but are you not going to call upon the gods to miracle this thing closed?
I'm a little taxed, if that makes any sense. I'm going to do this to the best of my ability without needing to disturb the gods, if that's possible. Do you understand? They have very little time in the day for us.
Proceed.
I don't want to anger them. They can do other things that are a little bit more destructive.
Perhaps we could talk while we are saving this man's life.
I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page with this.
Not at all. Please proceed.
You see him dig into the thing. He's like, okay, put your hand here. Put your hand. So throughout the next 10, 15 minutes, he kind of has you stretch and pull and hold things in certain areas while he starts to stitch it up. And he goes, as he finishes, he's like, okay, you can move your hand now. That damn cat back in here. I'm gonna have to get those boys to get rid of him. Maybe take him to the orphanage or something. I don't know.
I thought cats were secrets to the gods.
No, they're kind of dirty. So, come with me. We'll wash your wounds. He'll still be passed out, I'm sure. We'll wash your hands. Come on, let's go. He leads you over to a wash bin, and he takes your hands and starts putting them in there. And instead of letting you wash your hands, he washes them for you. And he just kind of looks up at you the whole time. He's like, so, what's, how'd you find him?
Before we progress, I have to ask you a question. I do not, forgive me for intruding. First, I am Harmatio Forelsket von Dea. And you are?
Harmatio Forest?
Forelsket.
Forelsket.
Of Onder.
You brought him from Onder?
I came from Onder. What is your name, sir? What might I call you?
Geronimo.
Geronimo is your name?
Yeah.
Is
that, you don't like my name?
It rhymes with Forelsket. It rolls off the tongue. It is great, yes. Ondarian poetry is very complex. No.
Does rhyme mean something different than Onder?
Your friend was beset by brigands.
Brigands?
I took him to get medical attention, which apparently was very temporary.
Oh, no, it was really good.
Right.
Yeah, it just seems that whatever happened between now and then tore them. It was very strong cat guy.
And he is going to be okay now?
Oh, yes. We have much stronger twine.
Yes, because when he recovers, I would have words with him. But I must ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
By what power did you do this with the pox and the healing?
By the power of the gods?
I look down at the bloody water.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, many times I have seen people cry out to the gods as their life drained from their bodies, and the gods did nothing. How is it that they respond to you?
My guess is that whomever you saw led selfish lives. That's typically the most readily available answer. See, what we do is we basically give ourselves over to their service. And while individual gods can have their own clerics, is what we typically call them, kind of like divine clerks, they each have their own grouping.
I have heard of these.
So this temple is more about the omnitheism of all of them. It's about the understanding that no single god can control or protect everyone. There's just too many people. There's too many occurrences, too much hate, selfishness,
Yes.
and some of the gods even further that. But what the sovereign host understands is there's a balance. And so we're actually able to ask for all of their favor at any given time, and hopefully one responds.
I pulled the pamphlet out like with my wet hand. I'm like, yes, I as a boy I was raised. My grandmother told me the stories of the host, and recently I found these. Was these from these temple?
It looks like it could be from one of the temples here.
But I do not understand. You are telling me that the gods smile upon this sick man, but not that sick man. They smile upon that wounded man, but not this wounded man. Who has dedicated his life to them?
Who?
Ciro. You could not.
Ciro is a man of some vices. Still, he's not able to call on the gods' favor directly yet. We hope that should he be able to abandon some of the indiscretions that he continues to harbor, that he will be able to. And that's not to say that we're all holier than thy. It's to say that we strive in all ways to be as good.
I am certain that you are holier than this thy, my friend.
Oh yeah, it was not a you. It was a collective.
It isn't us, I understand, yes. I will not bore you with the details, but I have come to believe that the gods are moving me towards something for reasons I will explain at another time. But I don't think I'm here as a coincidence.
They absolutely are.
But I don't know what to do.
Harmatio, yeah? I need to rest. I'm fairly taxed, and I think I need some sleep. I've been up for about 4 days now.
I know this feeling.
I'm slightly exhausted, maybe twice over.
Perhaps I could visit at another time when we could speak of this.
If you would like to come back, perhaps the beginning of next week. And in the meantime, if you do feel like this is something that is drawing you, continue to seek out some of the tomes and see if it isn't a single god that is reaching out to you, or if it is the greater essence of the multiverse. I will care for Ciro.
If you would give him a message for me, just let him know that I would like to learn his story.
It is a cautionary tale, to be sure.
There might be a certain debt that was incurred for the saving of his life. I would like to know that the debt was worth acquiring.
The first thing that you should consider is that sometimes you give without the expectation of return, even if it costs you greatly.
It is ironic. I have an associate that did not think this was worth doing, and I said that same thing to her, and now you're saying it to me. This is funny. I see the gods, whichever one has the sense of humor, I believe is the one that is speaking through you right now. Yes.
They can all be quite interesting in the way that they answer. I need to sleep now. Your words are starting to blur together.
Rest, Geronimo.
Thank you.
It is a wondrous thing you have done for this man, for these people.
It wasn't me.
I shall return. On the way out, I do linger by Ciro's bed to make sure he's asleep.
Oh, he's out. Yeah.
And I leave.
Okay. I feel like now's a good time to take a little break. And perhaps read or show something to some people.
Some. thing?
Does that sound appropriate?
You shouldn't leave anything unturned.
There should definitely be no stones left unturned by the Inkwell Society.
Hashtag no stone unturned.
So I believe that there is a little message directly from Elminster. Something, 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 I'm the Sage of Shadowdale. Something, something, something found a way to deliver a message to you through us. But the gist of the message seems to be something along the lines of the stone and its wielder are on Earth and must be returned to the Forgotten Realms. Keep your eyes on streams like this, and Elminster will communicate more as he can. And always remember to leave no stone unturned. Like this one.
Dun dun dun. Can you hold it up just a little to make sure you can see it? Your hair's in the way.
Here's the way. It's very dramatic, yes.
And we'll put this
I
on
know
our
I can see
page.
it under your nose, but you know.
The nose is part of the symbol. It's right under your nose.
And that's
And
Elminster's sigil right there on the right hand side.
That's how you know it's
People
real.
That's how you know it's legit.
Also, from what I understand, he likes root beer. So if you want any more clues, give him root beer.
I love root beer.
Elminster likes root beer?
Elminster likes root beer too.
Yeah, I don't care about him. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yes.
All right, everybody. So I saw a bunch of subs fly in. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
We're up to almost 100. We're at 122 sub points. There's a new emoji or emote or emoticon that is available at 125 points, and we have a couple that are coming by way of the internet soon.
Takes about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to catch up with the ones that we have, and also we are going to throw out a little maybe poll of a couple of other ideas for you guys to let us know what you would like to see join the bank. So we will get this set up, and we will tweet out what that symbol is, as well as see you guys back here very shortly. Maybe about 10 minutes?
So,
All right.
8:50?
10:15?
8:50.
Oh.
It's 10:15.
8.
It's the after show.
8:50 to 8:55, somewhere in that bubble. So we will see you guys here back real soon. Don't forget your Twitch Prime subs. Most of those are rolling over. Mine rolled over today, oddly. And we love all the bits and stuff that are coming in too. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. We will see you shortly.
While you're hanging out, guess what's in the box?
What's in the box? Well, congratulations, everybody. You made it to 129 sub points over the course of that break. That pushed us up. I think 7 subs went out.
Oh my god, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Also,
Oh my god.
thanks so much, Nick and Chicken, because now I'm subbed too.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. So we should definitely throw some love out to Nikin and to Haji for all of the community building they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sub love is a word?
Yeah, sub love.
Sub love.
Hashtag sub love.
Arcanite sub love.
Sub love dub.
I'm like,
Sub-a-dub-dub.
don't Google sub love though. Don't.
Yeah,
Under no circumstances.
Or you can.
Or do.
Or do.
Don't tell them what to do.
Yeah,
It's
Dom,
true.
Dom, tell them what to do.
Moving along.
We're really whipping a dead horse here.
Let's get back to what's in the.
I think you guys are kind of dominating the conversation here.
It's true.
No, go. No, it's fine. You're just giving me ideas.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He's not
Oh, man.
Oh, like he didn't have his own.
Yeah, it's true.
Guess we're all getting leather.
Hey, a good artist knows they're only stealing from other artists.
Inspired by.
Sure. At some point.
Yes.
At some point. All right. So, when we left, there was an earthquake.
It's dramatic.
When we left off, we had a pair of people hanging out inside a bank vault, waiting to find out what's in the box. We had a hopeful neophyte struggling to contemplate his existence in the grander scheme of the multiverse. We had airships flying overhead left and right. We had an intriguing pair in... Well, actually, I think I'm gonna come back to you guys first, so forget everybody else. Come back to you two first. As the final beams of light make their way across the dusty, dirty floor and all the broken furniture inside the food court, toppling just slightly over the tents and kind of makeshift domiciles, the two of you stand with a couple of corralled hoodlums and the day waning into the night. From where you are, you can still see some of the cargo airships moving past their giant elemental rings, throwing some amount of color, be it purple, yellow, green, orange, through the darkening sky. You have lowered the boys to their feet. You still maintain a healthy grasp on their collars, and the one standing in front of you, slightly befuddled as to what you really want.
Do you know where Tawny is?
Tawny, the blonde one. I don't. Should I?
Were you around the Old Dominion?
I don't
In
go.
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld? There's. I don't go to bars.
Were you outside?
No. I mean, I'm. Okay, wait. In what sense of the word?
Let's kill him, please. Let's just kill him.
I'll go a better idea. I'm gonna I'm gonna let the kid go, and I'm gonna rip a little shred of fabric from the back of his shirt
Okay.
that I'm assuming he's wearing.
Okay.
And then you see this, Roya? This nose will always know where you are, and you don't want me to come looking for you. I'm gonna I'll kind of like smile like a weird, like.
Persuasion, intimidation. Like, what are you going for
I
here?
don't know. Maybe the confusion.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Something unnerving. And
No, I'm unnerved enough that we're just going to give this a go.
Okay.
So, what else?
Oh, that was my idea.
Oh, you're good then.
Mhm.
You're golden.
Yeah. I think we're done here.
If we ever catch you guys trying to shank us, he's coming for you. And I'm not going to be nice and listen to him and just let that sink into your skull.
Yeah, we'll
Or
find
my
you.
fist will.
Yeah, I won't stop for next time.
Okay.
Now get out of here.
Okay. They kind of like grab each other and like check on each other real fast as they're like basically hot-footing it out. The one stops by the thing, grabs his little shanks and like tucks them away into some unseen pocket, and they start scrambling up to make their way out.
I hate kids.
You know what? I was right about you all along.
What do you mean?
I don't even know why you bother trying to be human. You know what it means to be human? To be alive? You think about everything you've ever killed, every bad decision you've ever made, and you run that over and over in your brain until your whole existence becomes a waking nightmare of regret. But you, expecting you to feel bad about anything you've ever killed is like expecting a hammer to regret every nail it's sunk into the wood. I envy you. Must be nice to be nothing but a soulless death machine.
You think I'm a soulless machine?
Oh, no, so.
Well, Grizz, let's see what you're made of. And I go and I slash his face.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do that.
We are.
That escalated
Are you
quickly.
doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what we're doing.
Roll me.
That escalated quickly.
This is with your hand. So roll me a attack roll.
18.
Okay. Your AC.
Well, that's it's a whopping 12.
All right.
Someone's kid
Well-
talking to a hand.
Someone's talking to him. Well, the plus side is that neither of you are actually proficient in your fisticuffs. So
Not a lot of damage.
But I do, when I do that after, or as I go to, I say, you act like you're so innocent. I've been following you for way longer than you think, Grizz.
okay, so you swipe across and lay a big metal palm across his cheek. Roll me. Oh, actually, what's your strength modifier?
Where is it? Oh, 0.
Okay. So you do 1 damage to him, sending him sprawling down, like off balance, stumbling back a few feet. And he looks up at you as you go ahead with your mini monologue there.
I see that thing around your neck. And I know what it does. And I don't think you'd have that around your neck if you were so sweet and innocent and caring.
And Grizz, it is your turn.
I'm gonna stand up. I don't know who you think you are. You don't know nothing about me. I'm gonna shift.
Okay,
Pick it
so
up.
as you stand back up, reeling from the slap, the red on your face left from the imprint starts to blend with the rest of your face as it becomes flush. You can feel your heartbeat really start to tick off, and your veins start to push blood faster and faster. It seems as though your body, your shoulders are even stretching and growing. Your face actually widening in the bone structure, and your hands clenching into fists and then popping back out to claws. the fangs of your teeth elongating. The collar that is now exposed as your clothes seem to press tighter and tighter to your form begins to glow with a red light and intermittent stripes around it. That was your bonus action.
So I'm gonna charge at her, and
I'm gonna rip every ounce of flesh off that junk heap you call a face!
then I'm gonna like charge at her and just like go for the swiping at the face.
Swiping at the face.
The moneymaker.
So let's see. You're a long tooth.
It's a serious moment.
All right, make your attack roll.
Oh boy. It's candid. That would be an 8 flat. I don't know. I don't
An
think
8?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an 8.
Plus your
Did you add your strength
Oh,
to it?
as strength. So that would be a 11.
Okay. You swipe up at her, and she sidesteps. The most condescending look in her eyes as you turn in the midst of your swing. Yet, you get to go again, because I do random initiative.
Oh, well, then I...
Turn and lunge at her again.
Yep.
Roll me another attack roll.
That would be a 14 this time.
All right. And that's with your strength added to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you lunge at her again. This time, though, your bonus action is free, and as a long-tooth shifter, you can make, when you take your attack action, as a bonus action, you can attempt to bite at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
What are you doing now?
So go ahead. You've missed again, but go ahead and give me a, give me another attack.
Good, you saw that, right?
It's close.
I was about to hit on a 20, but it popped over to a 2, so that's
A
5.
2?
Yeah, it's 5.
So, Xalen, you are just sidestepping each advance as he swipes at you, clearly out of practice. Once, twice, and then even tries to clamp down on your midsection with his, what seems to be a much larger mouth at this point. He almost appears to be almost like a feral cougar or mountain lion, something you may have faced while you were in the wilderness tracking your way down to Sharn. It's your turn.
Don't you ever call me soulless. And I go and go to
Another punch?
punch him in the face.
Cool, give me your attack roll.
Now we're playing team.
It's like stage combat. You're very passionate with it. Like,
What'd you get?
love me.
7.
Okay. So this time you swing back trying to catch him, and as you do, you try to like catch his face as he comes through to bite at your midsection, but as you do, his shoulder catches you, buffing you back just a little bit, knocking your blow sideways. And Grizz, you're up again.
I'm just in a blind rage, just
Swing.
going at it. That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. This time your fist connects. You deal 1 plus your strength modifier.
That would be 4.
Oh.
4 points of damage to Xalen. And you follow up with those teeth of rage.
18.
That will also hit. You clamp down on her throat. Roll me a d6.
3.
And she goes unconscious. Oh my god. Well, really, she goes limp in your maw. Noticing that she has stopped struggling, your breath heaving, spittle and drool just kind of rushing down, starts to mingle with like kind of the taste of an oil, or is that sap or something? But as she stops struggling, you feel the sense of rage start to reduce, start to come back under your control. And then you hear a tss, and you feel a slight prick into your throat. Your jaw goes slack. She crumples down to the floor. You turn, looking for anything or nothing. You're not very sure, because moments afterwards, your vision goes dark and you collapse on the floor. Do me a favor. Roll me 3d20 and write down each one, and you do the same thing for me.
Okay.
Do not tell me yet, just write them down.
Don't die, you guys.
Use different d20s.
Yeah, right, just roll 3 and keep it, yeah.
Oh, Xalen, you actually get to roll yours. You get to roll 6 because it's an advantage for you. But it doesn't look like you need them. Never mind. All right, so Harmatio takes the long way home, contemplating his existence and his path up until now. He crosses from one sky bridge to another, gets on the lift, rides it slowly down, staring out over the slums of Sharn. Walks his way through the park to the wicket lawn and up to his apartment, where he opens the door to find Rose having toast strewn across pillows. What? That's where I was going to put you. Strewn across pillows that seem to be fluffed, making your chair actually comfortable.
Hello, my darling. Were you successful at City Hall?
Oh, I forgot to go to City Hall. I was daydreaming. Should I go to City Hall?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I was daydreaming. I had a very relaxing day, actually. I wrote poetry. You don't even care about that. You just want to go do this, go do that.
Can I ask you a strange question?
Sure.
Do you ever still pray to the sovereign host?
Oh, not since we moved down here. There's no way anything can get through these levels.
I don't know if I ever told you. But I had a brother, you know. And he was killed by robbers in our home. And he died in front of me. And I tried to hold his piece together when he was cut open. And my mother and my grandmother, they prayed and prayed and they begged and begged. And nothing happened. No one came.
Nobody's supposed to come.
Today I witnessed a man call upon the gods, and the gods replied. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw a miracle with my own eyes.
Do you need to sleep a little?
It happened. I know. Like, you do the thing in the mind, and I hear the words, and Laucian does the pictures.
Yes.
I saw it. But it was not magic. It was not the formulas and the incantations. No, the man asked the gods for help, and the gods helped.
I read about it, but what are they doing down here? I mean, how do they get through? I thought the whole place was forgotten.
What if you know, we thought we came here by chance. We were blown alone by fate. What if it was not fate? What if we're meant to be here?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
What are you implying? I feel like you had a long daydream too.
I'm making no sense.
Oh, come on. Tell me details. Tell me your feelings.
I have done something that you will not be happy about.
Oh. What did you do?
There was a man. Xalen and I found a man. He had been attacked in the street. And he was dying. And we took him for help. And I got him help. But this man was a servant of the sovereign host. And I took him back to the temple. And that is how I saw this thing. That he is like a holy man, but he is like a low-level holy man, but a higher-level holy man. And I'm supposed to go back next week to talk to them about how to hear the gods and have the gods hear you.
Me?
You could come with me, yes.
No, it's not for me. Wait, go back. I feel like you're
Yes.
skipping over something. You said something bad happened?
I did not say something bad. I said you would not be happy. Do you know the upstairs, the man with the hat in the newspaper?
Yes.
You've seen this fellow? Perhaps I now owe them a favor for saving the life of this other
What
person.
kind of favor?
They were not
We can't
clear on
afford
the terms.
anything.
No, it's
We can't do any more
it is-
bad things.
no,
We're
it
already
is
in the lowest place.
solely my responsibility.
It's not
It-
your
it-
responsibility. We're in this together. We gotta get out. I hate this place. What did you have to do? What do you have to do?
I do not know.
Oh no, it's the worst one.
But it is my responsibility. It does not involve you. It does not involve
That
Xalen.
is not true. You know that's not true.
It will be fine.
We are
If-
responsible for each other.
Yes, I would never let anything happen to you. You know this. But this place, it is doing something to us. I don't understand. There are the birds that are dropping dead. It has been, 10 days? The birds dropping dead and the signs and the killing their latch.
Okay, let's think about this real quick. Okay, so maybe you go and learn about the gods, and we could figure out how to either get past the favor, give the favor to someone else, or we just find out what the favor is and then do it fast so it doesn't escalate and we don't owe anyone anymore. You know, big favors, only little favors are okay.
There is one small thing that we also must discuss.
What?
If the old dominion no longer exists and you are no longer gainfully employed, what are we going to do? Should we? I mean, we could leave this. I would rather not leave this place. I feel like we are meant to be here.
No. We could go. We can go anywhere. We can go anywhere else.
No, we cannot go anywhere. Imagine if we were to go back to Under.
Well, we can't do that.
And
That's
walk into your parents'
No,
palace.
no, we can't do that. Not yet. But anyway, maybe, I don't know what to do.
You said you had an interesting day as well.
I was relaxing, I had a day off.
You have earned it. You've had a lot of stress. You look very beautiful. You look very inspired. You said you had a poem. Can I hear your poem? I enjoy your art.
You just make fun of me.
I promised I would never. Please share it with me. I could use something that is not crazy and miracles and
It's just
death
about
from
me
the sky.
hating this place. It's my secret. You can't know all of my secrets.
You hating this place is not a secret.
Well, the way I express it, that is my secret.
Well, you are allowed your secrets. I will not pry.
Thank you. You look like you need a hug.
I absolutely do.
Okay. Next week, I'll go with you.
Yeah, this will be beautiful.
Maybe, if I'm not busy.
Okay. Where are the others? Perhaps we should look for them.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Did you just say that if I'm up yet?
If I'm not busy.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, either way, like, that's awesome, because I thought you said, like, if I'm up yet, like, if I wake up in time to go to the temple, sure, whatever. Because I distinctly remember that actually being a thing in a household, where it's like, yeah, I'll go to church with you, if I wake up in time. Okay.
Tomorrow is Sol, so it's a good time to go to churches.
apparently every day of the week's good for me, so... yeah.
All right, well, let's see. Looks like Trello changed the way that their boards work.
Oh.
So that's going to be a little harder for me to find a thing. But outside of that, we go back to we leave the touching sight of the rare moment you two are touching, oddly, and find ourselves back inside a room with 4 corners and no doors. While to both of your, well, we'll call it north, but it would be to your right, to your left, on the marble wall, a ripple forms into a mouth that says, "The bank will be closing in 10 minutes. Please, finish your business, conclude your transactions, and make your way to the exit. That is all. This has been a message from the Magic Mouth. Have a wonderful evening." And then it ripples away.
Well, I'm not one for ceremony.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
As you lift the box, how did you know? You hear tick, tick. I'm just kidding.
It's an expensive clock.
Send it back.
Don't smash the clock.
You hear it creak as it comes up. The key somehow staying in place as it flops back down. The box, seemingly welded into the table at this point, has no vantage point in which you can lift it. Inside the box, the space seems to go about 1 inch and then open up into a much larger, almost rectangle. It appears as you look inside almost to be a drifting space of blackness and little specks here and there.
I reach in.
You reach in?
Yep.
As you reach in, you can see your hand doesn't disappear into the blackness. The blackness fades away from your hand, kind of curling back as if it were a smoke that were respecting your privacy. As it billows back roughly 1.5 feet or so from,
Consenting smoke.
you can see there's a bottom. And atop that, in this space, there's a page. You grab that page, and you see that there are a couple of other pages below that, looking to form some sort of document. But it's different than this, which seems to be a work of art, in the sense that it is a palm with the pinky, the middle finger, and the thumb. All different colors. Blue on the pinky, black on the middle finger, and purple on the thumb. And at the bottom of the palm, there is an arrow in an arc pointing towards the pinky.
While he's looking at the art, I'm gonna take out the other things from the box, the other documents.
Okay, as you pull the other document out, you see a will and testament. And underneath the will and testament, you see the deed to the Old Dominion.
We're never gonna see Felix again.
Right where he's gonna be.
The deed, the will and testament appears to leave the Old Dominion to some sort of corporation.
Is there a name that it goes by?
There is, but it's in a script that you don't know.
Okay. Turn it and point it at Laucian. Can you read this script here?
Maybe if you move your finger.
It's the nuances, guys.
I don't know what language it's written in, so I can't tell you.
Okay. Well, it ain't Gnomish.
It's not Gnomish, and it ain't Draconic, Elvish, Orcish, and you're pretty sure it's not Dwarven.
And not common.
And it's not common, obviously.
No?
Or is it? Spoiler
I don't
alert.
recognize that one.
It's Portuguese.
Could be halfling. They own a lot of restaurants and stuff.
Maybe.
But anything else in there?
I don't see anything.
You don't feel anything.
No, nothing invisible.
I feel as though I should triple check that.
Asterisk, in case we have to return to this.
Yeah.
Oh yes, a deadly scorpion.
Apes gold?
Those can be painful.
It's like a Venus flytrap. You have to hit two things in a certain amount of time for it to like.
Don't give any ideas.
It's true. It is.
I mean, you can feel free to talk all you want to.
He's like, how did you know?
Tick, tick,
The
tick.
third time you touch the bottom of the box, it snaps shut on your hand.
So, as you two ponder the deed and the will and testament, and seemingly nothing else, I'll leave that there so that I can come back to it if I need to. And I'm going to leave you two in the vault for the moment as well.
Okay.
But you have a decision to make. It is clear to you that should this will and testament make it out of this vault, so too will the deed. And once out of the vault, also out of your hands. And as the Magic Mouse said, the clock is ticking. You two stare at each other.
We gotta go. I gotta get to work.
And with that, what did you roll?
I rolled a 19, a 19, and a 20.
Was it a natural 20? Okay.
I rolled a 19, a 10, and an 18.
Okay. So your eyes start to flutter, Xalen. And above you, you see what only registers as confusion across the avian features of Larry DeGlen, staring down over you.
Larry, where are you always hiding when we need to find you?
And a surge of energy sweeps through you as you pop up to your feet, suddenly completely aware that you rolled a natural 20. And then you recall Grizz,
Oh, Screet.
who is face down You move over to him. You feel the rise and fall of his chest. Well, I guess it's his back because he's face down. And you hear Larry unscrewing the top of a flask. As he clack, 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 walks over to you, looks down, looks up to you, goes to say something, and we are going to close the episode today on that note. I hope that you had a wonderful evening with us here as you watched pretty much every party member go through some other crazy moment. Like, the most boring moment was in the vault, and even that wasn't boring because it was big reveal stuff going on with that. Actually, I'm curious. We move over to.
Can I? Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say the episode started with poo and it ended with poo.
We'll capture that. You two standing in the vault. What is the discussion that happens here over the course of a couple of minutes? Like, I don't want to come to a conclusion yet, because I feel like that's a good way to start off the next episode. But I'm curious what your discussion is like over this. I'll say that you have a few minutes to discuss it.
Lawson, what do we do with this?
We take the will, and we go and then we take the deed and we go give it to the company, which is probably represented by this hand, which is probably the one who's going to take over and take care of the kids, because the kids need to have a place, they need to have income, so the people who run the Old Dominion are probably going to be the place that'll be...
Do you recognize that hand?
Not really.
So you're just guessing about the hand?
Pretty much. But it looks like one of those things you do with a company, because it's got 3 people, so I think it'll probably be Latch, Garland, and Teeny, and those 3 make up the company, and that's why.
Huh. Because we've got the very real possibility of changing our futures a bit here.
To what?
Well, I can make documents look like anything I want.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we could end up owning this bar if we wanted.
Why would you want to own a bar?
Well,
I mean, it's obviously that it wanted this bar to go to this company. And when something dies, part of the ceremony is you recognize their last wills, because that's what you do when people die.
Sure.
You go through the ceremony of how things go. Because when people die, they're still around to watch you afterwards.
Here's the thing. We don't know who killed Latch.
We don't.
What if it was this group?
And why would Latch be keeping this in there and give the bar to people who kill him?
Maybe he didn't know. Believe me, in nobility this happens a lot. You leave money to someone and they kill you for it so they can get it quicker.
Oh, you have evidence of that yet?
Not for this situation. I'm just telling you it happens pretty often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that sounds bad to be a noble.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't have evidence of that yet. So I would say until we know someone from this group who's actually taking steps, that we should probably recognize the will.
Or at least sit on it for a little bit, just to make sure.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, you recall.
They're going to close the place down if it doesn't.
And once you walk out of this place, if you take the deed and if you take any of it with you, it is essentially probably like it's going to be enacted.
What do you mean it's going to be enacted?
Well, nobody knows that it's here at the moment.
Yeah.
But what you do recognize from just you would remember from being a noble in general is that most official documents, so wills, deeds, all have the House Civis like emblem that basically acts as a homing beacon when it's when it's appropriately triggered by the house. So it may not be the moment you step out of here, but if it is not in an interdimensional space, and people who know that Latch is dead go to House Civis to trigger it, it would become immediately evident where it is.
All right. Then in that case, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to copy down this symbol.
Oh, I thought you were going to put it all back in there.
The art, does that have one of the marks upon it?
It doesn't appear to.
We're keeping that.
Okay.
The rest of this is going back in the box.
Okay.
I'm going to scribble down this company name, whatever the heck it is, so we can research it.
I do this. That?
What did you do?
Make the illusion of the seal? Is that what you were trying to draw?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you just replicate that at any time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
To a degree.
I'm still copying it down.
I mean, it doesn't give you perfect memory of things, so.
Right. So I'm gonna.
And which seal were you creating?
Oh, whichever one he was copying down, I'm assuming.
It's the company name.
The company name.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So copying that so I can.
Gotcha.
Find out what that is, and then putting it back in the box.
All right. So what all did you put back in the box?
Everything but the art.
The will, the deed, and we're keeping the art because the art doesn't have one of those tracking things on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you close the lid.
Mm-hmm.
You take the key.
Yep.
The box slides back into the counter.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer did it look like that?
We haven't been in here long. We should go now, though.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And the door starts to slide perfectly.
You're the 1 millionth customer.
Yeah, right? As the bank... The bank vault is now closed. Please conclude the last of your business and exit the bank. And that's where we'll stop.
Woo.
So, now, when we see you next week, perhaps people will be able to find some answers. What do you need?
I'm not going to be here next week.
Yes.
No, not my darling.
That's right.
He's not going to be
That's
here
right.
next week.
Oh no.
And
They took
what I
you
had
away.
intended... So we're going to retcon this part as far as what I had intended... Oh, we still have time.
We got some time.
Hey, 2 false stops. All right.
This is the after credits scene. It's like the Lord of the Rings. We're
Yeah.
like a little more.
Dun, dun.
and
Roll
a
the
little-
intro for the sake of now.
And a little more. Right.
No.
Okay, so we'll say that as the neon lights of the district in and around Gate of Gold start to illuminate, all of you make your way back. You and Larry dragging Mr. Grizz towards the wicket lawn. Larry, oddly quiet. Every now and then setting Grizz down or making you shoulder the entirety of the weight so he can take another swig or relieve himself. And as you drag him back inside, you come to see the others all sitting inside Rose's apartment as she seems to hold court on Harmatio's chair that is just stacked with pillows. What do you need?
I just wanted to say that I put him in bed and
This
give
man is
him
yours.
Mr. Punchy.
Are you taking him to his bed? Okay. So he'll wake up with Mr. Punchy. Maybe. All right, so then you join the others downstairs. Go ahead and do whatever you're going to do for figuring out your
I
week.
am so sorry. I did not go to the place I was supposed to go, so tomorrow I'm going to go do the thing I'm supposed to do. I am very sorry. I got distracted.
We've all had very trying days, it seems, but what is this device upon his neck? What is this?
You didn't see him.
Yeah, we do. She bypassed us
Yeah.
completely? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
'cause you're-
We never
Who?
saw them coming in?
No.
Not coming in, no,
Okay,
but she
fine.
does join you in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, oh.
We'll assume Is there any information that any of you want to withhold from the party?
Nope.
No.
I was just curious if I saw his collar or not. That's all.
You did not. You have gleamed it in the past, but you don't know anything about it.
I know something's up, but I didn't see the.
Well, you know he's not in the room.
Right. Okay. Where is Chris?
Oh, Xalen, roll me a history check.
She lost him.
20!
Hey.
Okay. Well, I will tell you a thing later.
Upload complete.
As we finish the thing. All right, everybody, you share the contents of the box of your trip, of Rose's trip. Hold. Do you recount to them what happened, what you saw him do?
Yeah, sort of. Oh, yeah, and then he was talking to himself while he was staring at.
And how do you explain that? Or do you tell them about your encounter with...
No.
So...
I was doing what now?
Do you still look like a dwarf?
You were like,
No.
No, it faded probably as soon as they got away from the...
for a couple minutes, you were like talking to yourself and mumbling. I thought you were practicing some magic or something while you were looking at the vat, because it went cold after that.
What?
Oh, I don't think I remember the vat going cold, but
No?
It was that it didn't call to him anymore.
Oh, I thought you said it went cold because the fire went out.
No, it did not.
Oh, okay.
The other one was just had a draw on him, not a thing you know.
Okay.
You guys are very confusing.
I was reminiscing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's boring. Do you show us the art?
He's got it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know what this is?
No.
It is the combination
It's the
to the lock and the ultra
combination.
minion. That is what it is. That is how you click it, the thing to open the door that is in the basement of the club.
So how come you didn't bring the deed?
What combination?
Oh, right. In the Old Dominion, there's a combination lock that requires button pressing and motion.
Could not get in.
Oh.
It is the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
The
deed,
what
what
was
is the
See what's
deed?
down
The
there.
deed is back in the box, and we have the key.
Keep
we
it
got-
If
somewhere
we
safe.
remove the deed or the paperwork of the will, one of the houses will be alerted to that,
Oh.
and it will be carried out. So until we're absolutely sure we want that to happen, we should probably wait on that.
Can't you just make
And
a
in the meantime, we
forgery?
can go see what's in that.
That one's...
Can't you just make a forgery with the will and say we own the club now? He left it to us because he's so generous.
I'm
She's a
tempted
word
to
forge.
do that, but what?
Maybe we set it up and he got a crush on her and then he gives her the thing. It's very stranger things have happened.
Damn, much
It wasn't really that interested in that kind of relationship.
It's not about the reality. It's about getting our names on that deed in the wheel.
He is not
Well, I
here
think
to.
before we decide on any of that, we should find out what's down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we gotta own the place.
Maybe we
Rose.
do not
I
want
don't
to.
want to be.
Rose, I have a hunch that Latch died over the ownership of this car.
But do you?
Which means if we possess it,
Yeah.
we might die too.
You're next.
I just don't want to
And
be
if-
out of a job.
If the people who killed him are the same people who killed him for the property, and they were going to get it, we are literally painting a great big huge bullseye target on us
I know
as
you
the
say
next
you hate
target.
this place, but you might leave in a way that you didn't want.
I get it. What's up?
It's true. Remember, I told you I do not trust Cad. He did not leave the club to him. He did not tell him what his wishes were. I still think Cad had a hand in Lech's death.
Can any of you read this script?
Can I?
Can
Nope.
I? Even me?
Here's what it looks like to you.
What's it look like?
It looks like somebody had a very hot nail and scraped it across in different angles, in different swoops. And then wrote like LLC behind it. What you do, like you see basically the same recurring, like you basically see like scrape, 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 swish at the end that is separated apart.
Is it a font that I have on my computer?
Maybe.
Sweet.
Is it something
But that's meta.
I know.
that perhaps...
We're not playing 50 questions on this one.
Okay, so... Okay, well, either way, now we can go into the basement.
How will we get into the club? Cad locked it and left for the weekend.
That was the other thing that was there. There's a key in there.
Oh,
Womp womp!
You guys have a key
There
as well.
we go.
Oh, I found this key.
There we
then
go.
must
See, it's
Yes, we
very
will go.
easy.
It's, Xalen,
Thank you,
remind
Dungeon
me to
Master.
tell you on the
you're
way.
going to work soon.
I witnessed the hand of
let's-
the gods today.
Trade the key.
Don't run over each other.
Yes.
You were talking. You
Yes.
were not.
I just said that on the way to the club. I'm like, I witnessed the hands of the gods today. I saw it with my own eyes.
He said he found a cleric.
The man, he prayed and the man was healed before my very eyes. Remember, I talked to you about the host, and then I go and I saw the power of the sovereign host with my own eyes. I will go back early next week. You are welcome to accompany me if you so choose.
Yeah, that's
I
really
will go
normal
with
for-
you because I'm worried about Grizz.
Oh?
What?
Oh, yes, what is he?
You know the thing around his neck?
No.
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 So I thought we assumed that I was going to tell them.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just going to ask you.
Yeah,
Is did
so
you tell them
I
about
did
the
tell them
entire
about
fight
The yes.
and the
Oh,
kids and
okay.
everything?
Yeah.
Did they leave any marks or anything? Because it was like...
Scrapes.
Yeah.
Like there's tears and stuff like that. Roll me a d20. Just standard flat roll.
12.
So, there is part of your part of the flesh that you had the skin graft that has been torn away and is now like jagged, looking as though some of it has been gnawed off, some of it had been ripped off around your neck and arm.
Like we just started with that.
We would have, but I completely forgot about the skin graft on the Warforged.
Xalen, did someone try to turn you into a chew toy?
And my guess is also that she would have covered herself walking through the streets because she always does.
Okay.
So she would not have disrobed that until she was telling you specifically about it.
Because the time is happening so fast, and
Yes.
we need to move forward.
We do.
What do you think about the collar?
I know that it doesn't come off, and I know that whenever he gets really angry, it sets something off and he just goes down.
Oh.
That explains why he will not fight. But the also
Well, I mean,
the healing men I told you about. Perhaps they could do this for you. Maybe.
maybe.
That's a good idea. You should go with him.
So, without going through the whole, what do you,
To the club.
like the whole plan for everything, what is it that Rose is going to be doing since you're not going to be here?
I'll go to City Hall and get that information.
Okay, and now that you actually have this script to compare it to, you may be able to find out more than you would have had you not lollygagged.
Okay.
Is City Hall open on Soul?
It won't be Soul. You guys are actually going to skip ahead.
Okay. So we're gonna go like Mole.
Yeah, and the thing about the Sovereign Host is that they don't have like a single day that they lock down anyway, so it may still be Soul, but it doesn't matter that much. Not for this one.
Honestly, even though they told me come back early next week, if she's like jacked up and her face was, I would promptly go back to the magic healing people and be like, yeah.
They're the only ones that you know about doing that for free. You and you and you and you and you, everybody but you, would know that this is something that House Jarasco does, but charges a pretty coin for. So the church seeming to do it is a completely different type of thing. It's almost the antithesis of it because House Jarasco is definitely making money off of it as opposed to doing it for the good of the other people around.
They're a pharmaceutical family.
Yeah. And so with that, we will go to the end of the show and say thank you everybody for coming to join us.
Yay.
Thank you, Tyler, for running the switcher. I know it was a little daunting and challenging to have to teach it all in like 30 minutes before the show, but I think you did a pretty good job. I agree, feel the same way about the cats and cat gut and all that other stuff. And everybody else have a wonderful week. I really enjoyed getting to play with you guys, and I'm super excited. See, the cool thing that I like about noir stuff is that even when there's not necessarily a ton of like fighting action, there's still a whole lot of plot movement in you guys getting the little ticks off for clues. And then occasionally we still get...
If you can't find the fights, you make your own.
Yeah.
We're very terribly squishy, though.
And that actually worked out pretty interestingly, because a little bit more damage and he would have killed you outright.
Yep.
Oh
If he had crit, it would have killed you outright.
Yep.
Did anybody take the unconscious kid?
He woke up.
He woke up.
He woke up even when they were there.
Yeah.
He was the one doing the talking, was the one that
Yep.
was unconscious.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 20. So he popped up and pulled out the extra daggers. So, with that, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you for all of the new subs, up to 130 now, so we pulled up another one of that.
Yay!
And that means that 150 sub points gets us the next thing. But you guys on your gift war, be careful. Be careful. Everybody appreciates it, even especially probably the people getting the gifts.
Yeah.
And I know we do, but we don't want you to like not be able to hang out with us or something because you have to go and take a loan out from Melishan.
Apparently, Melishan's in the loan business. That's good to know.
But thank
Yeah.
you guys so much. It's pretty incredible to like. We watch these shows after we film them. I like to remind myself what happens, and I read every single chat message. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Sure.
see you, and you guys are, we see you, we're with you, and you're with us, and it's wonderful. It makes the adventure even more fun.
Yeah, it's not a typical thing that happens in all streams, but because I think this one is so mystery based, we kind of all need to go back through and have refreshers and write down the
Definitely.
notes and stuff like that. But we definitely love reading through and seeing the things that you guys write, and especially the stuff that goes on the Reddit and in Discord. We pop into the Discord when I try and get in there like 2 or 3 times a week to just see what all you guys have said, especially in like the Inkwell channels and stuff like that. And thank you guys for supporting the mods and helping them out by reinforcing the things that help keep our community and channel safe, and knowing that it's not necessarily directed at any one person, but this is how we create a community that takes care of each other. So with that, you had one more thing to add?
I did. 2 things. One, again, thank you patrons, thank you bits, thank you subscribers. You make all this possible. And at the risk of teasing a tease, I might have something cool to share with you on Sunday. I'm not sure, but maybe. Pay attention to the socials on Sunday.
And what? I'm going to do the...
I would like to do one more
Go ahead.
thing as well.
Go for it.
So, I am scheduling the Maze Arcana World Tour, which is mostly Rudy and I traveling all around the world, going to different game stores. So, there's this one's because I'm going through Canada for my birthday. So, on Monday, the 21st, there is a birthday meetup at the Fairmont, the Waterfront Fairmont at the bar from 9 p.m. to 11. We're going to celebrate my birthday before I hop on a train and go to a bunch of castles. And then Calgary on the 26th, I'm going to organize a brunch meetup somewhere, and we'll figure where that is, probably at the Fairmont in Calgary. But there is a big event that we will be at in June here in LA, so go get tickets for #SomeDND. And then we'll be at Origins. Rudy and I will both be there with D&D and D&D Beyond. And then we go to England in June, at the end of June, and then France at the D&D in a Castle the first week of July. And then we'll be in Paris that first weekend, Amsterdam a couple days later, and back to England, and we will be coming back here on the 16th, and we'll be at Gen Con. So, keep your eyes on the socials. We will have a whole lot more details. I actually have a list of the places and times. If you have a game store that you want represented, we'll be going there to interview people and featuring. We want to know what your favorite snacks are. We want to know how you guys play and the things that you love about your game store. So go check out my Facebook. We'll probably put it on the Maze Arcana Facebook so that we can kind of organize the locations.
And website and stuff, yeah.
In the website and stuff. So just hit us up, say hi, and let us know. We have an email on mazearcana.com that you can actually just fill out the form and say, hey guys, this is my store, this is why I love it, and these are my players.
And in the meantime, feel free to hit us with some more haikus for some inspiration for Rose.
Kaiku.
Or a kaiku. And make sure you at Inkwell or hashtag Inkwell Society for that. Any fan art that you guys are doing. Music would be tight, because I like doing those things. Yeah. And thank you very much to Black Magic. Thank you very much to Sirenscape, to Axe and Shield, to... Well, we've got some other people that are going to hop in and start doing some sponsoring as well, I believe. But Dungeons & Dragons and Eberron. And thank you to our wonderful production team with Ryan Omega and Tyler hanging out over there, working his way on the switcher. And thank you to Andre, who is recovering for usually being here, and Paige, who is working on something else and usually working on stuff. Please stop.
Chat desperately wants to know what Kyle has on his t-shirt.
Not important enough. But I guess, Kyle, go ahead and show it.
I wanted to know, so.
Yeah.
It's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow.
I did it.
He did it.
Okay.
They just want to see some boob.
I forget what else I was going to say, so with that, go ahead and roll the outro.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.